Dr. Felicia, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the harmful effects of toxic positivity in the church. One of my areas of specialty is religious or spiritual abuse, and this often comes into play when individuals have been the victims of religious abuse. If you'd like to learn more about religious abuse, look in the playlist of this channel and you'll see another video explaining what religious abuse is. Now, back to the topic, I'm going to be talking about the harmful effects of toxic positivity in the church. Now, first of all, I'm going to explain to you what toxic positivity is. Toxic positivity is basically the belief that one should not experience negative emotions. And so somebody who is displaying toxic positivity will often respond to somebody who is going through a challenging time or expressing a negative emotion with a dismissive attitude, a critical attitude, or some kind of superficial reassurance. So let me give you an example of what toxic positivity looks like. Let's say that there are two people talking and one person discloses that a close relative died and they feel really sad about it. The person who's displaying toxic positivity would say something along the lines of, oh, well, you didn't really lose them because they're in a better place now. Cheer up. Now, that is one example of toxic positivity because the person is not empathizing really with the person's sad feelings. They want them to just kind of hurry up and get over it. And hey, whoever you lost, they're in a better place. Don't be sad. So basically, person A is saying, hey, I'm sad, I'm grieving here. And the other person is saying, nope, don't be sad. Here's how you should feel. And so the reason why this can be really harmful, especially in the church, is because there is an implied association between the level of spirituality that you have and the level of positive emotion that you display. And so this can be, first of all, this can set very unrealistic expectations for anybody who's going through a challenging time, who's having a difficult emotion. If we look in the Bible, you're going to see plenty of examples of people that went through very difficult and challenging times. You'll see David in the Psalms, you'll see Job, you'll see, heroes of the faith all went through dark times. And so, first of all, that's not true. The second reason why toxic positivity can be really harmful is, and this goes back to religious abuse, is that it encourages people to keep difficult situations or keep difficult circumstances swept under the rug, right? And so it's this hush hush attitude. We don't want to be critical. We don't want to complain when there are actually real issues and real challenges that need to be brought to light and addressed. And so it creates a kind of culture of silence that perpetuates abuse. And so if you listen to survivors of religious abuse, a lot of times they'll talk about how they brought up concerns and people told them, oh, you're criticizing the leader. You shouldn't complain. You should be grateful for all that they've done. And so an indirect effect of toxic positivity is perpetuating abusive situations and also shielding those that need to be held accountable from criticism. Another harmful effect of not religious abuse, toxic positivity is that going back to what I said before, it actually fails to solve any problems. And so if someone is experiencing anxiety, stress, and grief, and they're always met with responses of, well, just try harder to feel positive, it doesn't address the actual root of the problem. And what this also does is for the person who is experiencing these challenging emotions, they feel a lot of shame. And instead of going to sources that can help them, for instance, for people who are Christians, reading their Bible, praying, really talking to God about their problems, they may go to other sources that kind of cover up what they're dealing with because of the shame they feel. And so really toxic positivity doesn't deal with the actual root of the problem and can make things worse. And so if you're somebody in this situation who you feel like you're experiencing toxic positivity from other people, people may mean well. They may just not really know what to say, and they may also have a lot of their own emotional problems, and they have difficulty accessing and acknowledging that they have their own challenges, and then they're projecting that on you. And so that's something to take into account so that you don't overly personalize it. But another thing you can also do in situations like this is to acknowledge your own spectrum of feelings. I have a video that talks about myths about emotions, and some myths that people have about emotions, especially when they're engaging in toxic positivity, is that emotions need to be one dimensional. It's just one emotion and then you're done. And a lot of the other myths about emotions are related to toxic positivity. So if you'd like to learn more about that, I have a video, myths about emotions, that I'd encourage you to listen to. But if you are, again, on the receiving end of this, it's important to understand that as human beings, we have a complex, wide array of emotions. We can feel more than one emotion at a time. So for instance, somebody perhaps who had a very difficult childbirth may be very happy that they brought a child into this world, but they also might feel anxious, they might feel pain, they may feel lost because their expectation for what they wanted their childbirth story to be like was not in fact what it was. And so if you're in this situation, what I would encourage you to do is do a brief exercise where you find what I call a treasure box moment, maybe one of your happiest, most significant moments that you've experienced, and think about the different emotions that you felt. A lot of times there may be negative emotions sprinkled in there. So for instance, maybe you got your dream job and you had to move across the country, you're really happy, but at the same time, you had to leave close friends and family behind. So this helps you understand and be in touch with the fact that we can experience several emotions at a time. Even if you have difficult emotions, they oftentimes don't last the same intensity forever. And they also help you learn about yourself. And so as somebody who's in a religious setting, if you are having challenging emotions, make sure that you ask yourself, what is this telling me? What is this teaching me? Is this telling me that, I need to make a change in my life? Our emotions are very powerful clues. And what is the most important thing is how we react and respond to the emotions, not the emotions themselves. So I want you to have compassion for yourself and understand that negative and positive emotions are just part of the human experience. Name the emotion and allow yourself to feel it. What is this telling me? If it's grief, allowing yourself to grieve. If it's sadness, anger, um, bitterness, whatever it is, you need to be able to identify what the emotion is, where it's coming from, and perhaps what changes, if any, you need to make. And that's going to be up to you to decide. So again, I talked about the negative and harmful emotions of toxic positivity in the church. And basically what it all boils down to is it doesn't allow you to get to the root of the problem and address it. And so that's really important. So your takeaway would be allow yourself to feel the negative emotion, whatever it is. Understand that our emotions tend to be intertwined, negative, positive, they're all there. And then figure out what is your action point? What is this emotion telling you to do? Because the most important thing, again, is how you react. So I hope that helps you. If it does, leave a comment below letting me know what other videos you'd like to, like for me to make. And also, again, other videos that I've referenced in my playlist are religious abuse and the myths of emotions. And so check those out to learn more. May you have a peaceful and wonderful day. Bye-bye.